All right, so now let's talk about types of diseases depending on how long they are staying. Okay, so there are basically two types, acute disease and chronic disease. Okay, so see, some disease last for only very short period of time, and they are called acute diseases because they are staying for a short period of time and they are not very severe. They are acute disease. Example, common cold. So, and certain other things like, headache or burning of eyes or burning of stomach, something like that. So these things don't last longer time. And so they are acute diseases. Now, there are some ailments, they can last for a long time, even sometime lifetime. And they are called chronic disease. And they can affect our life in a much severe way. Means our whole life is getting affected by these chronic diseases. Example is elephantitis. Now, see, if we talk about these chronic disease and uh, acute disease, these chronic, how they affect our health. Okay, so basically when we talk about disease, be it acute or chronic, they both have effect on our health, of course, because they are diseases. And because they are diseases, they cause poor functioning of some part of the body. Naturally, poor functioning of any part of our body will affect our health, because we know that all the parts are, all the organs of our body are interconnected. So naturally, any diseases, be it acute or chronic, it will affect our health, of course. But see, it's not that they both affect in the same way. Okay, so there are some disease which affect very badly, and there are some disease which affect, they don't affect so badly to our health. So if we talk about acute disease, they get over very soon. So acute diseases, they get over very soon. And because they get over very soon, they will not have much time to cause any major effect on our general health. All right. But in case of chronic disease, they will do so, means they affect our general health, and they can cause, chronic diseases can cause major effect on our general health. All right. So here we are comparing acute disease and chronic disease. So see, basically they both affect our life, they both affect our general health, but acute disease, they do not have much time to cause any major effect because they are not they cannot they are not lasting for long time. All right, and that's why they do not have any major effect on general health. But chronic disease will affect our general health because they are lasting for a long time. For example, think about a cough or cold, okay, which in normal case, like with the changing in weather, even for the change in weather or temperature, we do have common cough and cold, all right? So we just get better and become well within a week or so by some medicines, sometimes home remedies also, all right? So there are no lasting effects on our health with such common cold or cough. But if it is chronic disease like tuberculosis of the lungs, in that case, the cough and cold, especially cough, it can last for a long time and make us ill over the years. And it can make us lose weight and feel tired all the time. And this is how this kind of cough, which is because of tuberculosis of the lungs, can affect our general health for a long time, sometime for a lifetime also. So The symptoms are same, cough, but cough being acute doesn't have any major impact on our general health, and cough being due to tuberculosis of the lungs can have major impact on our health because it is chronic in case of tuberculosis of the lungs. Tuberculosis is a disease of the lungs. All right. Now, the next example they have given is we may not go to school for a few days if we have acute disease. So with acute disease, we might have to bunk the school for a few days. But chronic disease, it will affect, it will affect our life, and it makes it difficult for us to follow what's being taught, okay, in school, and reduce our ability to learn. Because just imagine this, if a student is having tuberculosis, then naturally the student will feel tired all the time, okay, and so the student cannot, that particular student, he or she cannot learn properly, he cannot concentrate properly in school, so naturally it will affect his life, his study, right? So we are likely to have prolonged general poor health if we have chronic disease. So chronic disease can have prolonged general poor health, and that's why chronic disease have very drastic long-term effects on people's health as compared to acute disease. So acute disease, they don't have much of a long-term effects on general health, but chronic diseases do have much long-term effect on general health. All right. So this is the basic difference between chronic and acute and chronic disease, right? So हम बात कर रहे थे difference between acute and chronic disease. So सबसे पहले तो हमने देखा कि types of diseases. So डिपेंडिंग ऑन कि कितने टाइम तक डिजीज रहती है, दो टाइप होते हैं डिजीज के, अक्यूट एंड क्रॉनिक. इसको आप ऐसे भी याद रख सकते हो कि अक्यूट मीन्स वो छोटी मोटी डिजीज है, क्यूट, ओके. फिर क्रॉनिक आपको अपने आप याद रह जाएगा. सो अक्यूट डिजीज बहुत ही शॉर्ट टाइम रहती है, वो ज्यादा अफेक्ट नहीं कर पाती हमारे बॉडी को, क्योंकि वो बहुत ही थोड़े टाइम में हमारी मतलब वो डिजीज चली जाती है. अगर हम एक कॉमन कोल्ड का एग्जांपल रहे जो कि वेदर रिलेटेड इश्यू है, तो वो अक्यूट डिजीज है. बट अगर हम वही कोल्ड, लेट्स से किसी को कोल्ड हुआ और उसके बाद उसको कोविड-19 डायग्नोस हुआ, तो फिर वो शायद क्रॉनिक डिजीज हो सकता है, शायद उस पेशेंट के लंग्स बहुत ज्यादा अफेक्ट हो सकते हैं उससे, राइट. और ये अक्यूट भी हो सकता है क्योंकि इससे सरवाइव भी कर सकते हैं, ओके. तो जो कॉमन कोल्ड है वो अक्यूट डिजीज का एग्जांपल है. बट जैसे रैशेस हैं, कभी हमें कुछ एलर्जी हो जाती है तो रैशेस हो जाते हैं, तो वो कुछ दिनों में चले जाते हैं, राइट. तो वो अक्यूट है. बट अगर किसी को स्किन कैंसर है तो फिर वो क्रॉनिक है, राइट. और वो स्किन रिलेटेड इश्यूज होते हैं, पिगमेंट्स होते हैं, बहुत सारी दूसरी चीजें उसमें होती है, सिम्टम्स रिलेटेड थिंग्स, एंड वो फिर क्रॉनिक है. ऑलराइट. सो जो अक्यूट डिजीज है वो शॉर्ट टाइम होती है, ज्यादा अफेक्ट नहीं करती जनरल हेल्थ पर. क्रॉनिक डिजीज होती है वो लॉन्ग टाइम होती है और जनरल हेल्थ पे काफी अफेक्ट करती है, राइट. सो ये कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स थे जो अक्यूट डिजीज और क्रॉनिक डिजीज के बारे में थे, राइट. In our next video we will talk about some other differences.